Good day, everybody. Matthew from Captive Audience Comics here. Today we have a nice full box back from CGC. This is a nice mix of vintage and modern books. And almost everything on this list came back at or above our grade estimates. We did have one book come back at half a point low. Now, I noticed with this submission that there is now let me give you my overhead here. They are now providing a scan barcode, which is being generated, I assume, from their admin system, which hopefully is going to help streamline the return shipping. We use combined return shipping. They do offer it. It is a pain in the butt to do. You have to send paperwork with the package. Then when they say they've received the package, you have to email copies of the paperwork you already sent. Then you have to call them and tell them that you emailed copies of the paperwork and included copies of the paperwork. And while they're on the phone with you, you have to get them to enter that information into the system, and then they provide you proof they've done it. People wonder, they're like, well, I could just have my books in myself. Of course you can. Just keep in mind that there's a lot more we deal with CGC that, you guys don't have to, and that's just part of the service is we deal with all that crap, so you don't have to. So let's get into it and take a look and go through this. So. Let me see here. Just adjust this camera a bit. I think what we'll do is we'll adjust it so you guys can see the top, because the grade obviously is more what you're interested in. So we have a Silver Surfer number 3 in an 8.0. And one thing I have noticed is, for the most part, it looks like they have fixed their slab sealing issue where they weren't sealing around and you were getting these weird gaps. There's still a little bit. You can see where it's not like 100% sealed down here at the bottom. But generally speaking, it's been way better recently. And the way I can tell that is they've been getting harder to open. So if we have to do a CPR, we're actually damaging the slabs when we extract them, which is what you want. You want to see physical proof that something was done. So Silver Surfer number 7 in a 9.4. That's good. Yeah. So hopefully, cross your fingers, guys, that they fix that. I've also noticed that it's going to be hard to see up here in the top. They're trying to get the edge of the paper up against this. I think it's like a little new post inside, almost exactly like something that CBCS has in their cases. Because I've noticed that when I pull the label out, you got to pull with a lot more force. You got to pull off against that plastic piece or nub that it's kind of sandwiched in, which is great because you don't want people swapping out labels. XMen number 28 in an 8.0. Yeah, good. 3 for 3. X-Men number 54 in a 9.0. First appearance of Alex Summers, who later becomes Havoc. And it's funny, most of these, not very many graders notes on these. Even though you'd think that, at a 9 you'd some graders notes, but I don't think there was a lot. Look online. X-Men 56 in a 9.6. This is the first appearance of the living behemoth in the origin of Angel. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see this light discoloration there. There you go, in the acrylic there. They're still not 100% sealed. They are way better than they were, for sure, 100%. So nice to see that they're finally taking care of that. Next is X-Men 57 in a 9.0. Also, the cases just feel better. I don't know if it's the way they've sealed the sides. Now, this has a bit very, very slight surface scuff. I'll see if I can get, yeah, there you guys can see it there. It's super, super light, okay? I can't tell if that's inside. It probably is. Probably just some discoloration inside the slab. But structurally, everything looks good. Next, we have, oh, this is a cool book. Batman 234. First Silver Age appearance of Two-Face in a 9.2. Very cool. Yeah, that's a nice book. We have another order going out, CGC. I might try to get it out this weekend. Just waiting for some last minute submissions to come in from a couple customers. So, if you got books you're sitting on, let us know. Batman number 237 in a 9.4. That must be a classic cover. That's a cool cover. And case looks good. I think it looks like the case issues that, we'll be looking out for now. It's just going to be damaged during shipping, like, cracked corners, damaged fronts because it got something heavy dropped on it or something. Fantastic Four number 39 in a 8.0 with the nice picture of Doom. Although I don't know why Daredevil looks like he's got a hunchback, but whatever. Let's see here. Incredible Hulk 141 in a 9.6. I love this. The greens and the yellows, especially against the red of Samson's shirt. That's super cool. That is a nice book. Yeah, so the client, I'm sure, is going to be very happy with this. They had some books originally come back from CGC, not as high grade as they had hoped. They had some books come back that had been trimmed by the previous owner, which obviously they weren't happy about. So this is going to make them happier. Werewolf, Marvel Spotlight number 2, origin and first appearance of Werewolf by Night in a 9.2. And again, if you guys need anything done, our website, captiveaudiencecomics.com, we have a tab right at the top for cleaning and pressing. Has all of our rates and instructions and everything on there. Silver Surfer number 2 in a 7. Still a really nice looking 7. Yeah, it's the one that has staining. You can see the staining all the way across the top. Unfortunate, but not unheard of in books from that era. Silver Surfer number 7 in a 9.6. This is a really nice copy of this book. Colors are just fantastic. Now, here's a case where a flaw like this, you'll see here, longer color breaks and even a teeny tiny hole through the cover is allowable based on the age of that book. Okay, wouldn't be allowable on a modern. They allow it on a book of that age. I have ordered in CGC's Guide to Grading Comics, which we'll be doing a series on that because it outlines all the flaws that CGC grades. Silver Surfer number 6 and 9.0. So it'll talk about, like, what's cockling, what does it look like, how is it caused, how does it affect the grade. I guess it's gonna have all that. So we'll do a series on that. One thing I haven't heard them talk about so far in the book as I'm reading through, and it's quite hefty, is they do not talk about the grading curve for older books. At least not yet. Maybe they do later on. I don't know. But I would be interested to see if they're going to quantify that. Silver Surfer number 5 in an 8.0. we had a Sports Illustrated #1 9.4 come back, and it was sliding around in the well because the little gripper on the side wasn't holding it in place. So we sent them a video, and they said, "Oh yeah, send that back. We'll reslab it." The back, got it back. Exact same problem, just sliding around inside. I'm not even sure they fixed it. I don't think they have a way currently to handle that issue. Amazing Spider-Man 59. That's a classic Mary Jane cover in a 9.0. This is the first Mary Jane Watson cover, and Kingpin cameo on the last page. Yeah, they sent it back with the exact same problem, where there's not strong enough grip on one side and there's too much space on the other side because it's a magazine and it was sliding around. So unfortunately, tell the customer, sorry, I mean, there's nothing I can do. That's the way they do it. Not so great, but that's the way it is. Amazing Spider-Man #60. Full page ad for Iron Man #1 and Submariner #1. In case you consider ads first appearances in a nice 9.2. Okay, what do we got here? Okay. We must be getting into some books that were ours. I can't remember. Yeah, I think West Coast Avengers #94 and a 9.8. So War Machine and Darkhawk join the Avengers. Come on, get in there. Get in there, you. Get her done. Vengeance of the Moon Knight #1. This is the David Finch variant cover in a 9.6. And we thought it was a 9.6. And you'll see down here, I'm going to try to get... Normally, we would have said that was a 9.4 with that color break in there. But this book was worth grading at a 9.4. The fact that we got a 9.6 is just bonus on that one. But it does show you what they are allowing in 9.6s now. XMen #100. I believe this is our other client's book, but newsstand copy. I guess they were all newsstands because they haven't noted it was a newsstand or a not a CPB. I'll have to check this one afterwards and see if it was submitted as a newsstand or not, because I don't know. There was a certain time period where they were all newsstands. So I will look that one up after and see, because I don't have the kind of memory that can remember all that stuff off the top of my head. Amazing Spider-Man 252 in a 9.8. So obviously one of the most iconic Spider-Man comics. Ties with Marvel team up for first appearance of Black Costume. Now, I want to show you something interesting about cover wave and edge wave. And this happens because of differences in relative humidity, okay? So, someone's going to look at this book and be like, well, that can't be a 9.8, because it's got a color break right there. Now, with CGC now saying they're grading for 9.9s, they're going to allow more flaws in a 9.8 that you wouldn't see before. That's going to be hard to see. I'll see if I can get it angled for you guys. You can kind of see... There you go. Yeah, you kind of see there's some very slight rippling in here. Okay, very slight. They allow that, and that happens through differences in relative humidity. Like, there's no way that you're gonna have the relative humidity in your shop here in Canada. Even like, I've got humidifiers in the wintertime, dehumidifiers in the summertime, so I keep a pretty consistent relative humidity. But it's not going to be the same as the relative humidity in a storage container or a shipping truck, driving through Florida. It's not going to happen. So I think there is some deviation they allow on that. Amazing Spider-Man 194 in a 9.6. That's a nice copy. First Black Cat. Nice. All right, and we're getting close to the end. A few more to go. I think some of these next ones are ours. I think. Yes. Truth and Justice number 7 in a 9/8. I know you're probably wondering, like, why? What's with this book? This is the Ji Hong Yoon variant, and I just liked this variant. I thought it was a nicer take on the whole, um, magician's costume with the rabbits. It was less, less pin-up centerfold style. So I liked it. So I got graded 9.8. There you go. Not every book that you get graded, especially because so many people are displaying labs, as artwork in their office stuff, right? Now, this is a personal favorite of mine. I was not expecting a 9.8. I actually thought this was going to be a 9.4, so I'm happy with the 9.6. This is Fraggle Rock number 1. Now, when I grew up, Fraggle Rock was amazing. I love Jim Henson, love the Muppets, love Fraggle Rock. My kids also love Fraggle Rock. They watch it now, and they're like, it's a great show now. Just with because puppetry is such a, I don't know, more immersive, I find, than the animation. Yeah, Fraggle Rock number 1. In a 9.6. I don't know if I'm gonna sell this one. I don't know. I might just keep it. I might just go in my personal collection. I do not keep a lot of books in my personal collection. When you're a comic book buyer and seller, you really got to be stringent on what you keep in your personal collection. Otherwise, your personal collection just becomes your entire, online store, which really isn't a viable business option. And then this is Amazing Spider-Man number 1 from 22. This is the Fan Expo sketch version cover in a 9.8. I'm not big into variant covers. I think most of them are just a money grab with no return value to the collector. But I really liked this. I like this comic with either the sonic weaponry is blowing venom off of them or he's attaching. I'm not really sure, but it's a cool cover. So we got that one. So there you go. So that is what came in this week. We will have more books going out. We do have another big order we're waiting to come back. Hopefully I'll be back next week. One thing people are asking about signatures. We can certainly send combined shipping to CGC for signature verification. There's no guarantee yet that CGC will combine, return, ship a signature book. No one's been willing to roll the dice to send one book and ask for combined return shipping, because theoretically they could split it out and charge you $80 US for return shipping. At some point, someone's going to roll that dice, or I'm just going to send something and see what happens. But I know that you guys are sitting on single books for signature verification, until we find that out or someone's willing to take the risk, I can only speculate and caution that theoretically there could be extra charge at the end for the shipping side that you would have to cover. So we'll keep you updated on that as we get additional information. And I hope you guys are having a great day. We'll catch you in the next video.